McKenzie, reporter for WDNA News. I'm the guy with the good-looking plaid jacket up front there. And that's Hal Burchett, my cameraman and friend right next to me. We're at Campaign Central 2 days before the special election, waiting for the candidates to arrive. You know, election for President of the High Council. They say the position can't be left vacant any longer. You see, 6 months ago, the incumbent, Bradford Neal, disappeared. Bingo, gone without a trace. Now that's the story, and I jumped on it like soft-on grits. After months of work, I felt like I was carrying around all my leads in the same cul-de-sac. That is, till the station assigned me to this special election and pulled me off the Neal case. WDNA hired some famous scientist who invented a machine that'll send people into the 4th dimension. And they tell me I'm the guy they're sending. Well, me and Hal. Cover the campaign from the 4th dimension, they say. Good ratings, they say. Forget about Neal, they say. A cold slap in the face? Or maybe just some of the best luck around. Well, I know better now. It was neither. My work on the election started to parallel my investigation of the missing incumbent. The station may have had their own reasons for sending someone into the 4th dimension, but I had my own reasons for going. And I'm not the kind of guy that would let someone else's game cloud my thinking. Did the station pick the right guy for the job, or the only guy? I was already seeing things a little differently than everyone else, and I wasn't even near the 4th dimension. Or was I?
Yo, guys, how's it going? Ned, good to see you. Good to see you. Al, I'm telling you, there's a conspiracy here. You know, maybe Neal's hiding someplace and he's going to suddenly show up for the press conference tomorrow. If that's the case, what's his angle? Oh, take it easy. It's early.
Good evening. Welcome to WDNA Meet the Candidates Forum. As you know, tonight's forum will be much shorter than tomorrow night's press conference, but the candidates have just arrived. They would brief take just a few questions.
Take 3 seconds.
Will you continue funding the space program?
Yes, you can't have too much space.
Will your foreign and domestic policies differ from the current administration? Yes, most definitely. I'll be there.
Mr. Robinson, how will you reduce our current debt?
By making it lower.
And how are you going to do that?
Son, in all my years in politics, I've learned that you can't solve a problem by throwing money at it. You gotta cut the fat. Chop unnecessary expenditures. We need to tighten our belts.
Right here, Leon. What is your position on self-incrimination and freedom of speech? Oh, well, my administration will take a strong posture on freedom of speech. Why? Freedom for our children, and our children's children, and our children's children. Freedom for everyone at all times, under all circumstances.
I'll take the next one.
Sir, defense spending now constitutes 45% of our budget. What do you intend to do about this?
Now, Molly, isn't that the 3rd time you've asked that question this week?
It certainly is, RBR, and I still don't understand your position on it.
Well, let me clarify something. The correct figure is 43%, which is not what we would like it to be, but better than it could be.
On the contrary, the actual figures are 47%. And I, for one, am completely at ease with that figure. Why? Ask yourself, can we allow our flag to be dragged through the mud? No.
Hey, now, some of the press secretaries signaling the candidates. Which signals? Where? What do you mean what signals? The press secretaries, are you blind?
Mr. McKenzie, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What steps will you take, if elected, to give impetus to a seemingly stalled investigation into the whereabouts of Bradford Neal, the incumbent president of the High Council?
It's a very pertinent question, worthy of our careful consideration. My feeling is that the proper authorities are doing all they can to uncover the truth. Now,
we all realize this. Not the man. We will not drop the mantle because one man has disappeared.
we must go forward.
Let me say something about that. No one man pilots the ship of state. Why, ask yourself, who stands to lose from Mr. Bradford Neal's disappearance? The voters. I will not let you down, and the incumbent, Mr. Bradford Neal, who disappeared so conveniently.
But you haven't answered the question.
Well, Mr. McKenzie, now you know that that's all I have to say about that topic at this time. Miss Beltley.
This question's from Mr. Robinson, sir. Throughout the campaign, you've driven home the point that if elected, you would, and I quote, reduce to a sniveling child, undesirable elements causing instability throughout the home. Aren't you threatening the use of military force?
Well, we can certainly see you've been doing your homework, Miss Beltley. There are moments when options that are more persuasive may render weaker possibilities moot and effectively hail another course of action that is much more appealing.
I see, and how about you?
Well, we all dislike the use of military force, but on the other hand, we also dislike undesirable elements. So, we must consider the repercussions of any movement on our children and our children's children, for, as you all know, they are the hope of succeeding generations.
Mr. Second, does that mean you are or are not contemplating the use of military force?
It might.
It might not.
Can you believe this, Al? I don't remember saying anything new. No, I'm talking about the press secretaries and all that signaling jazz. Me drinking? No, I haven't been drinking at all.
Oh, Mr. McKenzie, you have a question.
Yes, ma'am. You know, I know this is supposed to be a friendly meet the candidates forum, but I feel both of you have been evading the questions.
Whatever gave you such a crazy idea?
The average voter, according to recent polls, has been said to be in favor of a more decentralized government. Can you give a clear, concise explanation of what your administration would do in this regard?
Yes. Yes. I'm very familiar with that, Paul. My administration tends to get the big guy out of the little guy's face. Well, I will set up the Bureau of Minor Public Affairs, a watertight agency that will oversee all other agencies.
What?
It's very simple. Look, the big hand hangs over the little guy. We're going to set up a bigger hand to hang over the big guy, and thereby guarantee individual freedom.
Does that mean you call that decentralization?
Yes!
Yes?
I concur with your feelings, Ned. I feel quite strongly that we should stop decentralizing in the area that we should increase decentralizing where centralizing has occurred. And furthermore, no comment.
What do you intend to do about the soaring rate of inflation?
Well, that's a very good question.
You gonna tell me that makes sense? That's what right of control of the private sector. No, she didn't. She said multi. That's not even a word.
Yeah, time for one more question.
Even his ragged dodge portends beautiful commencement throughout the
Hortense, cement, donut, itch. Itch? Stitch, Runnels, no tires.
Can you believe it?
Before turning in, I need to take care of the acid rain problems, defoliation of the tropical jungles, and the general dangers of mankind via the greenhouse effects of society.
Miss Mayor, one more question,
Well,
please.
I would love to stay and answer all of your questions, but there's so much to do before tomorrow. Why, interplanetary peace beckons. And besides, I have a hair appointment, so I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good night.
One more question.
What are you getting closer, son? You're getting into the window.
Hey, Al, look, you were just kidding, right? I mean, all that stuff about inflation, it was just nonsense.
It's the same sense theories, man.
Now, let's look at the footage tonight. I'm telling you, it was different.
Dad, there appears to be two stories here. The one in your head, the one getting away. I don't know which one you're going after, but I'm in a hurry. My paycheck's going,
what was going on.
Yeah, I see. You're not worried, are you?
No, I'm not worried at all. You know, like I said, I was here for the press conference, saw the machine, and, well...
Thought you'd see how things were going. I see.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not exactly an astronaut, Doc. You know, I do have a personal stake in this trip tomorrow. Like my life.
Yeah, so perhaps you're more than just a little interested in my experiment, no?
Experiment? Well, it is a little bit more than an experiment, right? I mean, you have tried this sucker out before, haven't you?
Sure, lots of times. Oh, many times.
And?
Yeah, nothing. 100% success, yes.
Well, what did they say?
Yeah, what did who say?
The successes. Who else?
Well, they didn't say anything. They couldn't talk.
Couldn't talk? What did it do? Ruin their vocal cords?
No. They couldn't talk because they weren't people. They was jars of yogurt. From that time.
I'm the first human ever
To be sent. Congratulations, my boy.
Oh, to be sent. You know, for a minute there, to be sent. You mean others have gone, but weren't sent? You mean like going where no man has been sent before? Well, just how long did they get there?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, then how do you know anyone's ever gone?
Reports. Fourth dimensional high frequency information.
Look, I've been a reporter for 10 years. And this is the event of a lifetime. I mean, man walks in the fourth dimension. And you could call it fate, luck, destiny, whatever. But it's me, Ned McKenzie, that's going, and that ain't no accident. Before I let you put me in that machine of yours and blast me into subatomic particles, I'd like to know exactly what's in those reports of yours.
Yeah, what did you say?
You mean about being blasted into subatomic particles?
No, before that. About it being no accident.
Well,
Perhaps you will make it after all. I think you just got a glimpse of a report. Oh, yes.
you mean they're not just numbers?
Oh, much more than just numbers. Well, of course, in the lab, my equipment is only designed to receive numbers, so that's the only kind of information I can get there. But sometimes, when the numbers get up into here, the equations float around for a while and wide, suddenly the formulas have words! And so I write them down for the report.
What about the report I saw?
We'll call that one, it's maybe an accident, but it ain't no accident. Of course, we'll have to file that one under Ned, because we can't separate what you saw from the fact that you are the one who saw it.
Well, just a second, Doc. I mean, how about telling me what it's going to be like? I mean, when I get to the other side.
Oh, my boy, as far as we can tell, there is no other side, at least not in the fourth dimension. Oh, you see, in a 4D world, there are many sides that all exist simultaneously in the same space. And so a side is only a different view of the same thing.
But how can more than one thing occupy the same space at the same time?
Aye, good question. Look, it's all a matter of perspective. If we draw a square, it has 2 dimensions, width and height. But if we could pull the square from out of its background, we would have added another dimension. The original 2-dimensional square still exists. Oh, but now it exists simultaneously in the 3rd dimension. And from our 3D viewpoint, we can see that the square is only a part of something greater than itself. In this case, the 2!
I'll call it Doc. So that's what you're going to do? You're going to turn me into a cube?
No. You see, we're going to pull you out of your background. That is your 3-dimensional viewpoint, don't you? We're going to add another dimension to your perspective of everything, so that you can see what lies hidden from our 3-dimensional world.
So that's what you meant by reports. This high-frequency information is just another viewpoint of what's already being seen.
Oh, not viewpoint, my boy, viewpoints. You see, in a 4D world, there are more thises for every that and more that's for every this. Oh, much more than you can see at one time, oh, yeah.
What's it going to look like?
You'll have to see when you get there.
Oh, I can't wait to get this damn done. What a story. I mean, look, I tell you what. You mind if I jot a few things down?
Oh, go ahead.
How about the reports that you saw? What are they like?
Well, I would be thinking about some 3-dimensional goodness, and then suddenly, poof, one would pop out of its background. Why, I remember the old 2+2.
2 plus 2.
From one perspective, it's an equation 4-4.
4-4.
But we could put them together and get 2-2.
How do you spell that?
It all depends on who's doing the adding. Yes, sure.
So I see it. So you take some 3D premise, you pull it out of its background, and then you see it in a whole new way.
Ways, my boy, ways! Adding another dimension isn't just linear. Why, it's off the map. Exponential, as it were. Have you ever heard of the unified field theory?
Yeah. You mean the one universal theory that explains everything there is?
Well, what about everything there isn't?
Well, exponential this one then, Doc. What's the shortest distance between 2 points?
How about a basketball goal? 2 points, 2 points.
I'm dimensionally impoverished. Hey, Doc.
Yeah, what is it?
How come you're not going?
Oh, how do you know I'm not?
You know what I can't believe, Doc? I can't believe that I'm actually going to the fourth dimension tomorrow. I mean, the press conference. What's Flossie Fleeter? Bob Robinson. I mean, the candidates. Are they going to be there?
Well, the candidates will be there the same way that square is still not true. Oh, but you will see them differently from the way you see them here. Oh, yes, much different.
I see that, Doc. I see the square becoming a cube and all that. How are you going to pull me out of my background?
We're going to boost your ZX4-223.
ZX4-223. What's that?
Energy, my boy. The galvanizing factor. The excitability coefficient. The energy you need to get more energy. We're going to boost your ZX levels above and beyond their normal capacities. You're going to expand in all directions at once. By in and out, and up and down, front way, that way. I'm working on it, my boy. And these are the babies going to get you there. Why, they generate enough drive even before Genesis of the solid booster to make the escape window in an unbelievable 3 points per second. There's enough retrograde propulsion pointing there now to take out. But although the principles overlap, we must not consider the half-life of the neutrino, even though its mass is clearly from zero. We got the squares of him that
I've been doing a little investigative reporting myself.
Well, what did you find out?
Look, I know you're set on going tomorrow, but I think you should reconsider. The station has its own reasons for risking your neck in this experiment, and it has nothing to do with ratings.
Well, what are you saying? I mean, we're still going to cover the press conference from the fourth dimension tomorrow, right?
Unfortunately, yes. Look, to make a long story short, I snuck into Zwitchell's lab last night. What? I snuck into his lab and I wrote down the entries he made in his logbook, November 2nd last year.
The day the president disappeared.
Exactly, and look at this. Unexplainable phenomenon, 12:06 a.m. Stretch in an electromagnetic battery equal to 1800 amperes at 4.7 frequency. Exact rating for 4D interface.
Okay, well, what's so strange about unexplainable phenomena? People see it every day. It's never explained to anybody's satisfaction. Of course, if it was, then it would be explainable.
Orange chair, 44 degrees north, 17 degrees south. Forget the details. I ran it by our weatherman. He mapped the coordinates, and we put an X right on top of President Neal's house.
What? Are you sure we see that?
Positive. Ned, I don't want you to go. The station doesn't give a damn about me. All they care about is doing anything they can to undermine Neal. Do you know who owns WDNA?
Global Communications.
But who owns Global Communications? Comco.
Comco? Wait, they've been after Neal ever since he broke up their communications network 3 years ago.
And who do you think is bankrolling the Sweeter campaign? Comco. And who's the main contributor behind the Robinson campaign?
Comco.
This whole election is a sham. Comco doesn't care who gets elected as long as it isn't Neal.
What does this got to do with me?
I'm trying to find out whose idea originally it was to send you to the fourth dimension. Nobody seems to know. I think the order came directly from Comco.
Well, now that would be heavy-duty stuff.
Why else would they be spending so much money on this? I think Comco's afraid President Neal's going to suddenly reappear from the fourth dimension and spoil their takeover.
Oh, God. The president in the fourth dimension. Now, you got to admit, that's a little far-fetched.
Well, I've got my own political connections.
And?
And in the last 12 months, there's been an incredible redirection of funds from the military budget into this top-secret project that President Neal personally oversaw.
Top-secret project to send someone into the fourth dimension.
Yes, that someone was Bradford Neal.
But why would Neal want to go?
Well, first time I interviewed Zwitchell, he said a person in the fourth dimension would have a wider perspective. Perception would be enhanced. It would be like seeing everything from 4 directions instead of 3.
Neal's trying to get an edge on the elections.
Having a 4D perspective, it would be like having a television instead of a radio.
A person in that position would have incredible power. But, Neal doesn't show up by tomorrow night. The election's going to be over. I mean, he's been gone for 6 months.
That's what I'm worried about. Something must have gone wrong. And the same thing could happen to you. Don't you see you're just a pawn in Comco's conspiracy to uncover Bradford Neal's whole conspiracy? All this scientific stuff about opening a window into the fourth dimension is just a ruse.
That's all the more reason to go. I mean, I could tie it to the biggest scoops of the decade. I mean, what a story.
Too dangerous. Even if you do find out you'll never get back to tell us, you've got to be smart enough to know when to stop asking questions.
But don't you see, Taylor? Forget about Neal. Look, you were at the press conference, right? It was weird. Fleeter and Robinson, they couldn't say anything without getting signals from the press secretaries. Hal didn't see it. You didn't see it either. I mean, I have to expect to turn around and see somebody signaling me. You know, another weird thing is the candidates were starting to talk nonsense. The press was talking nonsense. Everybody was taking it all in.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just worried. I'm just worried about all this political intrigue.
I'm not talking about politics. Look, you remember that place we went to last year? The lake with the tulip tree? I went there last week by myself to kind of get away from all this stuff, think things out. I was sitting there, and it was dead still. Hot. And I was looking out across the lake, and it was like a sheet of glass. All of a sudden, this wind comes across the lake, and you can see it as it rippled the waves. It came across, and suddenly it rearranged everything. the leaves, it was like there was this mad scramble. You know, maybe the leaves and grass thought it was their own mad scramble. Like they had their own momentum. They were going somewhere. They didn't. They were just riding the downside of the breeze. And that's what I've been doing, riding that breeze. I can't wait for breezes anymore. Gotta move. Things are just getting too hot. Nah, maybe I'm just crazy.
You want to talk about crazy? I spent the afternoon with Zwitchell.
That's pretty nutty.
Sometimes I think his carpet's not tacked down. You know, they say he almost single-handedly was the first man to live.
He said the worst thing that could happen tomorrow would be that nothing would happen.
I know that's what I prefer.
Don't you understand? This is what I was talking about. For me, that would be the worst thing. Forget about Neil, forget about Conco. I've got to do this for myself.
You haven't been listening to me. I told you everything I know. If you still want to do this crazy thing, it's your decision.
Hey, look. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize. Maybe I'll see you when you get back. If you get back.
Hey.
Don't say you're sorry.
to be fine. Check.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Dr. Watson, bring in the test subjects.
Check. Hal.
This is a great day for our country, and you are truly brave lads.
Why, as our founding fathers once said, someone has to do it.
All clear the launch area. All clear the launch area.
God, these cool. These things are freezing. What are they made out of?
The only substance known to man that defies fluctuations in electromagnetic fields. Dogahide.
We're going to go to the fourth dimension with no butts.
Superconductors, negative 342 degrees. Oh, that's good.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Okay, Dr. Robinson, are you ready?
Oh, fine, Ned, you all done.
Now remember, when the camera's running, don't turn your back to the camera.
Yeah.
Keep your explanations simple.
Of course, yeah.
10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're on the air.
Good evening and welcome to WDNA's special report, Bound for Glory, a flight to the fourth dimension. I'm Kayla Roberts. Tonight you are witness to one of the most remarkable events in scientific history. Sponsored by WDNA, this fantastic journey is the brainchild of Dr. Zwitchell, world famous mathematician and astrophysicist. For the last 10 years, Dr. Zwitchell has been with the National Center for Scientific History and has developed what could be the most important advance of this century, a device to shift a human being into the fourth dimension. Volunteering for this historic flight are Ned McKenzie, reporter for WDNA, and Hal Burchett, our cameraman. We will be in continual contact with our news team. Sitting here next to me is Dr. Zwitchell, who will now explain this remarkable device. Dr. Zwitchell?
Thank you, Miss Roberts. With the aid of my assistant, Dr. Phoebe Watson, I will explain what will be occurring. What we have done is to make use of the latest techniques in superconductivity. A superconductor is a material through which electricity can flow without resistance. In this case, the material is Norgahide. So, as the electrical current passes through the material without losing power, it generates an enormous magnetic field, thus propelling Mr. McKenzie and Mr. Burchett into the fourth dimension. Dr. Watson will now demonstrate the safety features of this flight. In case of any interdimensional turbulence, you will find a transabdominal restraining. Please keep the transabdominal restraining device fastened at all times. And note the easy release button in the center. If you experience any difficulty in breathing, an oxynitrous facilitator is provided just below your seat. And the emergency exits are to the forward and rear of the, to the forward and rear, yes. Remember to keep your communicator on at all times. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth is at hand. In just a few seconds, the electromagnetic field will begin building to alarming levels. This will start to alter the electrochemical makeup of our test subjects, having about the same effect as 20 gravities, almost enough to make your eyes pop out. And then, once we have achieved the maximum propulsion, boom, you Yeah, I'm not sure. Have we got communication?
I'm not sure. I'll try to raise it on the communicator.
No!
What do you mean, no?
He couldn't have made it. It didn't work. No energy output from the machinery.
Are you sure?
Conclusive.
Where's Ned?
What do you mean, where's Ned? He's with you.
No, he's not. He disappeared in blast off.
Disappeared in the blast off? Well, I'll be.
Ned disappeared. What are you doing here?
Beats me. Can't say I'm sorry about that, though.
Zwitchell, what's happening?
Well, one thing's for certain. This stuff didn't send him there, no. No, if this test subject is still here, then the logical conclusion is that Ned went under his own power.
His own
power?
What does that mean? Can you get back?
Well, I don't know where he is. See if you can reach him on the communicator.
Right. Communicator. Ned? Ned, can you read me?
Looking at fluctuation in interdimensional fabric, coordinates appear to be approximately 30 degrees Kata and about 10 degrees Ana. Situation under control. Line up, men. Count all. 1, 2. Now, men, our instructions are as follows. The Secretary sent us to locate the interdimensional warp. This warp is a reporter from the third dimension. Now, I realize you trainees have rarely, if ever, encountered such a life form from that dimension. You'll find them endlessly fascinating, although in many ways they are different from us. For example, their speed is much slower than ours. Now, men, I can't predict for you the specifics of this particular 3Ders behavior, so I encourage you to consult your 3Ders manual whenever the need arises. Are there any questions?
Sir! What's a reporter, sir?
A reporter has the job of transferring information.
Sir, like everyone, sir.
Right, but he gets paid for it.
Sir, what will we do when we...
Sir, what will we do when we find this reporter? We'll follow his lead, and we'll pretend to be reporters too. As soon as we're sure of his coordinates, we'll contact the Secretary, and he'll either send him forward or send him back where he came from. Well, sir, which do you think it'll be? Well, that of course depends upon how much CX4-223 he has. Again, warp subject mirroring. Now, you observe until I determine as such. And remember, the Secretary said if we do a good job, we get a tour of the third dimension. Assume your positions.
Made it. I made it. I don't know where, but made it. Kayla, do you read me? Kayla, come in.
Yes, but we've only got audio, Ned. How's it make it? You'll just have to do the best you can. Stand by for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, we seem to be experiencing technical difficulties. We lost our video transmission from Campaign Central. However, we anticipate correcting the problem shortly, so please stay tuned. And now, a word from your local news station.
Kayla, where's Hal? Come in, Kayla. Oh, I got some, Kayla. I see. I'll get back to you. People?
Where? Exactly. Looks like you're missing something.
Yeah, I'm missing Hal, a cameraman.
No. I meant like about a half a dimension or so.
Look, I'm Ned McKenzie, WDNA News from everywhere all the time, and I'm here to investigate the disappearance of Bradford Deal. What's your name?
Ralph. Reportering for WA through Z. We're here to investigate a warp and interdimensional fabric. But they were reporting on you.
Never heard of WA-Z. Look, are you from this dimension?
No. Are you?
No. The third dimension, and I'm here to cover the press conference and confidentially, I'm here to look for clues in the disappearance of Brad Vernil. Look, Ned McKenzie. Hey, come on. Is this campaign central? Am I a little bit early?
Early on the evolutionary scale, they're not early intellectual.
Look, Ned McKenzie, WDNA News, I don't think I got your name.
Name. A name is what they call themselves when they turn themselves into a noun, like Ralph or George or Harriet.
I don't think I caught your name.
Ralph or George or Harriet. No. It's Ralph. Ralph.
Ralph. Are there any more of you?
Are there any more of you?
Kayla, we're in big trouble.
Stand by, Ned. We are still experiencing technical difficulties. Dr. Zwitchell has informed us he's working on the problem, and it should be resolved shortly. Zwitchell? Where is Ned? Zwitchell, national TV, do something!
Oh, well, I'm absolutely certain our recycling can would have displaced any anomaly prior to interface. Therefore, the glitch must have established itself. Yes, I'll have to run more tests.
Hey, guys. Hey, look, Hey, how about a federal report, will ya? Is this campaign central?
Sure!
It is? Where are the candidates?
He's talking about candidates who wants to vote.
Well, this must be a polling place. Is he old enough to vote?
He doesn't look old enough to vote. I do it better.
A constituent!
Oh, I'm not a constituent. I'm a reporter. Is this campaign central?
Is this campaign central? I'll field that question. Yes, it is, son.
Robert Bob Robinson and Flossie Fleeter, I think. Your press secretaries, where are they?
Right here, of course.
No. Your press secretaries, where are they?
I'll field that question. Why, put your attention right in here.
Okay, let's try a different tack. Brad Vernil, where is he?
Who?
The incumbent. The missing incumbent.
The incumbent's not missing.
Yeah, he is. He's been missing for 6 months.
He doesn't know the incoming year is different than in his dimension. Boy, is he in for a surprise.
Well, let me just start the press conference by asking you a few questions then. How about
If I'm elected, I will see to it that no one will ever have to answer another question against his will.
kind of we already have freedom of speech. Nobody has to answer questions against his will. Did you say that no one has to answer questions?
Against his will?
Yeah, exactly.
My case in point.
Point not taken.
Well, just because I answered your question doesn't mean I had to answer your question. On the contrary, it doesn't.
Doing it proves that's exactly the way it is.
Nothing's forcing me to do anything.
Then why do you keep
Responding! Because you asked that question! Precisely, my boy! Incumbent decided just that way.
vote for me, and I'll eliminate the problem completely.
Look, I'm not a voter. I'm not even registered in this dimension.
Yes?
I'm a reporter.
Yes, Dr. Zwitchell's working on the problem, but he's talking about a delayed energy source that could occur at any time.
Houston to module! Houston to module! Do you read me? Over!
Doc, I'm not voting for the moon.
Oh, sorry, said
Where's Hal? Where's Hal? I need a camera over here.
Well, as far as I can tell, nothing went wrong. My readouts indicate that Hal didn't have the energy to receive the 4D boost. What dimensional mathematics says, the more energy you have, the more you can receive. But the less energy you have, the less you can receive. Remember the galvanizing factor, my boy. You haven't got much time to put the pedal to the metal and send me some 4D data. I must run more tests. Over.
And if I'm elected, I will see to it that every household has its attention reducer pump shut down.
Attention, reducer. What? How do you spell that?
T-U-N.
No, not that part. The French part.
The attention reduction pump located just above the visual cortex. In one amendment to the Constitution, I will do away with the attention reduction pump, which limits the amount of things that you can hold in your brain at one time.
Flossie, I took anatomy in school. There's no such thing as an attention reduction pump. And it's certainly not in the Constitution.
Dear, you can't see the attention reduction pump because yours is in operation.
Aha! Demonstration!
The attention reduction pump in operation.
Stand back. This could be messy.
All the time.
There you have it. Your adventure is working just fine.
Yes, it looks like a top-of-the-line model to me.
Okay, I admit it does seem to serve a purpose. But you guys are going to eliminate the potential reductions of the Constitution. I hate to be snide, it seems to be a rather small issue we're dealing with here.
Small? You couldn't do your job without it.
Well, where's yours?
We ran? I thought you was. That's somewhere. We left it on the bus.
Okay, so you're talking about the Constitution. Are you talking about my Constitution or are you talking about the Constitution?
Right.
Which is it?
Why, both. The laws governing you here and out there are one and the same. Everyone here knows that.
Knows what?
Why, that everyone has a whole Congress right up here. Why, there are press secretaries, majority parties, minority parties, particles, vetoes.
Well, who wrote these laws? Who wrote this Constitution?
Here, are you sure that your Congress hasn't recessed for the season?
Ken Cribbett says he's not from these parts.
Well, he doesn't look old enough to vote. Well, how could he be? He doesn't even know what the laws are, let alone whether he's old enough to vote or not.
Look, these laws you're talking about, they sound suspiciously like Dr. Zwitchell's version of 4D reports.
Did you say 4D?
Right, 4D.
Can't be!
This is only the 3.5D.
What? 3.5D? Who ever heard of a half a dimension?
I located your coordinates.
Yeah, Doc, I located the source of your reports, and guess what? They say it's a 3.5 dimension.
Oh, that's a no-go. I repeat, that's a no-go. There's not enough energy at your locale. That's not the source. I've analyzed your audio transmission frequency, and we have only achieved 3.5-dimensional orbit. I repeat, you are only in the 3.5 dimension, not the fourth.
Doc, I know that. That's what I just said. The laws correlate here. They sound exactly the same. The laws were written here.
Oh, negatory orbiter, negatory. There's not enough well up in the 3.5D to send those suckers careening into the third dimension. The energy that created those laws is from beyond the 3.5D. And now send me some reports. I must run more tests. And then, listen to me. There are indications of an imminent power surge. Take care, my boy.
Doc, look, I can't leave until I find the incumbent. Holy cow. 3.5 dimension. I've never heard of a dimension in between a dimension.
Three-dimensioners haven't heard of a lot of things.
Well, actually, they have heard of everything. They just don't know what to do with some of it yet.
Why don't I feel like you guys are going to explain it to me?
Us? No. But if it's explanations you want, you're in the right place.
Explanations are the meat and potatoes to the 3.5D. But understanding their own explanations is another matter entirely.
Oh, Flossie, look, yeah, press conference. Yeah, look, this is the eve of the election, and, well, heck, I guess it's just an opportune time for you to speak to your constituents via making your statements for the record.
If I'm elected, I will eliminate the law of resistance to states. For every reaction, there is a reaction.
If I'm elected, I will eliminate the law that says life is too busy to make sense.
Well, if I'm elected, I'll eliminate the law that states wherever you are, there you go.
Flossie, Clear, and Bob Robinson. I've been following them around for months. I mean, they sound the same, but their platforms...
Listen, Ned, for one thing, you're seeing them differently than you did before.
And speaking of their platforms, there was something a little odd.
What's that?
They talk about eliminating the laws of the universe, but they don't act like they've eliminated the laws of themselves. I mean, what were they talking about? The law of resistance. I should have done this. I shouldn't have done that. What was that if it wasn't the law of resistance in action?
Exactly. And we don't want to see that, man. I think the secretary's going to come and wrap this job up himself.
And another thing, how come we don't have these laws in the third dimension?
You do have them, these very laws, but from a different perspective.
Your perspective is you don't know you have them.
There you go again. I need information, not riddles. Give me one law you have here, but we also have in the third dimension.
There's one right there, the hostile takeover nuance.
Where?
He didn't get it. He almost had it. Come on, let's give it another try. You call yourself a writer. You've never written anything new. As a matter of fact, everything you've ever written, you stole.
Now, wait a minute. You're going too far. I ain't come to the third and a half dimension to get insulted. I've never plagiarized a thing in my life.
The hostile takeover law, another classic example.
Oh. Come on, guys.
All we did was invent a few words that struck a wrong chord in you, and voila! We're paid back all the energy tenfold in used bills. But it's really dirty money. Today, the stock market was exceptionally strong. Professional integrity attack. Yielded shareholders 10 times their original investment.
Didn't notice that. I didn't notice that.
Come on, Mr. Your dimension cam.
Look, the candidates can't see the laws. I can't see the laws.
Ned, you have to be a dimension ahead in order to see them.
But you guys can see the laws. Where does that make you from?
Right on time. Well, almost right on time. Say, what's a couple of microseconds here and there, more or less, in the greater scheme of things? Besides, who's counting? Here I am rattling on when there's so much work to be done.
The secretary! Yeehaw!
Yeehaw.
Who is this guy?
The secretary Hyper Arnold. The secretary is the incumbent.
Look, incumbent. Look. I know the personal secretary is incumbent. It's not him.
Ned, ironic secretary to life.
What? Life? You mean life has a secretary? And this guy's him?
Right.
You're pulling my leg. No. I'm measuring your leg. Why you're measuring my leg?
So many questions. You know, Ned, it's a small wonder that so little is accomplished where you come from. But then again, since it is your leg I was measuring, I guess it's only logical that you should be curious about why I'm measuring you. Ralph, you tell him why I'm measuring you.
I'm sure there's a good reason. The secretary always has good reason for whatever he does. Why are you measuring his leg?
He had a good reason. Oh, fiddlesticks! Who cares? Look at it this way, Ned. Sometimes we do things for a very good reason before we know what that reason is. Why, you should be very familiar with that. It happens all the time in your dimension. That's it. I just remembered what it was that I forgot before I knew it in the first place. The reason I'm measuring you is to find out how big you are.
Okay, I'll bite, but how big am I?
No. Actually, you're big. Does the word huge mean anything to you? No, wait. No, I was wrong. You're extremely diminutive. Actually, I'm just kidding, Ed. You're just big enough.
Okay. Let's back up a second, okay? Are you saying, correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? Are you saying that the third and a half dimension, the incumbent, the president, is life itself?
Aha! Well, that's more or less correct. Sort of. You see, Ned, it's true that life did write the laws. Life is responsible for the Constitution. No, it isn't. Life wrote the Constitution. No, it's life is the Constitution. But as far as us working for life, it's more like we just sort of keep things headed in whatever direction they appear to be headed already in the first place. It's really quite simple. The whole thing just runs itself.
Well, excuse me for asking, but if the whole
same question. When I first took this job, I said to myself, Piper, you're just the kind of guy that can streamline this operation. The longer I've worked at it, the more I've come to suspect that my seeming to be so busy is just part of the beautiful efficiency of it all.
Efficiency? But wait, things don't look any more efficient in this dimension than they do in the third dimension. But then again, you don't have to look efficient to be efficient. Shh! Did you hear that? What?
It sounded like plaster. Plaster? Listen, Ned, let me give you a piece of advice. The ceilings in the 3.5D are extremely fragile. The slightest untoward sound or movement could bring them crashing down. So, do what I do. When you walk, always walk like this. No matter what happens, don't ever talk loud.
Look, Mr. Secretary, Okay, look, Mr. Secretary.
Call me Hyper. Everybody else does.
Okay, Hyper. How'd you get this job?
Well, I could say that it was my unceasing attention to the tiniest details. I could say that it was my unrelenting dedication to the completion of whatever task was set before me. I could say that life recognized in me the drive and ability to get things done. Actually, I saw this ad at the back of a match book.
Come on, you tell who works for life itself?
Who doesn't? Actually, though, Ned, we prefer to say we work for the corporation.
The corporation, Comco, aha! You're behind this whole 3.5D biz. What have you done with Frankfurt Neal?
Boy, are you on the wrong track. You see, we work for the big corporation. Big, really big. The big corporation.
That's big.
Comco, really small. In fact, Ned, you could say that in a way, Comco works for us. Just like everybody else. Take yourself, for example. What did you say you do? Reporter. Okay. So, what do? You report. You transfer information from point A to point B. Did you ever ask yourself, how did that information get to point A in the first place? And where's it going to go after I drop it on at point B? No, you didn't, did you? Ask yourself now, Ned, from whence did this information originate? Who's responsible for it? Who do you really work for? And not only that, Bradford Neal. I almost forgot. I've got him right here.
What? You got Bradford Neal?
That's right, Ned. It's a tragedy.
Oh, you don't mean?
Yes. You see, his attempts at interdimensional travel were somewhat less successful than yours.
Oh.
He went backwards to 2.5. Whoa. Right enough of this sentimental fiddle battle. Let's get on with the business at hand.
Which is?
Which is right. Which is you. You, Ned. You don't get your tie. You are the business at hand. Okay. So what are the... Who wants a cigar? So what are... Fact number 1. You can't stay in half a dimension. Fact number 2. We only have one fact. But how many do we need? Fact number 1. You can't stay in half a dimension. So what are we going to do? We send you back to the 3rd dimension? Or onward to the 4th dimension?
We're going onward, of course. But how?
Ha ha! How indeed. Men! Right this way.
It's the machine.
Familiar?
Yeah,
of the obstacles that may stand in your way.
Yes, but I thought it depended on how much ZX4-223 I had.
Ned, what do you think ZX4-223 is?
Wait a minute. I don't need this chair. I got here under my own power.
We have liftoff!
Well, you know, some things are just too dimensionally complex to explain in 3D words. I'm Ned McKenzie, WDNA News. Good night. Got sound? No sound.
John?
No, there was no sound.